Today was a big kickoff return day for us, install-wise. So I thought, I needed some extra work with our punter. So I thought we'd get out there post-practice and get some work in.
Who are we looking at for kickoff return as far as the actual returners?
Haven't found one yet. Not too sure yet. Just haven't found one yet.
Who are some of the top candidates, would you say?
I'm mixing in with the DBs and the running backs right now, so we'll see. We'll go from there.
What does Dylan bring to special teams?
He brings a guy that's a veteran who's played in the Pac-12 before. So he's a guy that, has kicked in the tough games, the tough weather games, and things like we do in this conference. So he brings that different dynamic that maybe some other guys don't have.
How would you describe his style of punting?
He's a pocket punter, pro-style pocket punter. He's not a rugby Aussie guy, but he's the pocket, traditional style type punter.
Coach, you said that Coach Sumlin said he puts a 10+ on special teams earlier this spring.
Yeah.
Every coach emphasizes special teams, doesn't he? What does Sumlin do that's so different?
I don't think, everyone does it, maybe like they say they do. Coach Sumlin coaching special teams when he was, younger, being a special teams coordinator when he was younger. I think that makes it more of an emphasis that he's done it before, so he knows how important it is. And because it's one of those games in the past, I think he feels that, because it's helped us win games, it's going to help us win games here.
Do you have any stats on Dylan from practice as far as distance or hang time so far?
No, I don't. No, we got that all self-scout, but we do that towards the end of camp.
Toward the end?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He said when he first came out that it was just the ball sounded different coming off his foot.
He has a really good, when he hits that clean ball, you hear it, and it's a good sound, and it goes to where you want it to go, and hang time's good, and the distance is good.
Why was it important to bring in a punter?
Competition.
Just for competition?
Competition. I mean, like I told my guys from day one, okay? I don't care how young you are, how old you are, we're going to bring quality guys in here to compete to start. And whether you got the job done last year or not, it doesn't matter. Every year we're going to do the same thing. We want to bring quality guys in, so we have continuous competition in that group right there.
Is Dylan, is he going to be the holder or?
Don't know yet.
Don't know yet.
Don't know yet. Yeah, we're still working that out. Just trying to figure out who's going to do that.
How much does sort of the roster play into that when you start getting into the smaller travel roster?
Obviously, yeah. So that becomes a factor. Who's going to start a holder, who's going to start a punter, go from there, and then we'll figure it out.
How many guys do you train at holder?
2 guys.
2 guys. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Based on the fact that you started your career as a quarterback, do you have an interesting pitch to guys who may not have come here necessarily to play special teams, but you can relay them your story?
Everything I relay, I try to relate the NFL to this. If you want to play in the NFL, you have to play special teams. So a lot of guys are motivated playing the NFL one day. So I use that as a motivating factor. Hey guys, you might not start on defense, you might not start on offense, but if you can have a role in special teams, it might propel you into the NFL and have a career just because you're playing special teams and you're effective there.
And any update with the kicking competition? Where's that at?
It's still good, man. They're rolling. I didn't want to make decisions until later in the week or later next week, so they're rolling. They're strong. They're both competing their butts off. So it's been a pleasant surprise to see that, and I figured it was going to happen like that, and it's been awesome to see.
We talked about Lucas a lot last time. What does Josh bring to the table?
Josh, is an older guy. He's a vet guy too, who's been through the fire. He's had his ups and his downs. So because of that, you become a little mentally probably stronger, right? You face adversity young in your career, so now you know how to face it a little better when it comes time to that competition that we're doing, or maybe when Coach Sumlin's around, or the whole team's around, and get him on. He's been through that situation before, so having a vet guy like that is always important. And he's a smart guy. He's a leader. So he's a guy that's not going to be on any list, right? He's going to go to class, get an A. So he's an example for those younger guys to how you should be as you get older.
We know that Khalil Tate's kind of the leader of the offense, and Colin Schooler is the leader of the defense. Who's the Tate/Schooler of
special teams? Older guys. I think like Demetrius Flanagan's one of those guys where people look up to, and he's going to do everything right. He's going to bust his butt. And even some of the other guys, Tony Fields comes in every day and he works his butt off on special teams. He might not play all the special teams, but you know what? He gives the example. He sets the example of how it's supposed to be played. And those are the kind of guys I look to. Sean Brown, another guy, right? He's going to do everything right. J.J. Taylor, starters, but they're in there, working their butt off, especially setting the example for how it should be played, no matter what, either 1 or 4 on the team.
Are you at the point, special teams or otherwise, the point of camp where if a guy's banged up, you're going to be maybe a little overcautious?
Yes, you're definitely right. Yes, sir.
Is that kind of someone's philosophy when you get later on?
Of course.
In camp?
You get later in camp, and when it's a risky situation, guys maybe got a bad shoulder or a bad hamstring, and I already know what he can do. I've seen 2 weeks of film on him, continuous practices. I know what he can do. So there's no reason to get him out there on special teams right now. Get him hurt in the drill. We need to save him for the game.
The kickoff return is considered the most dangerous play in football, in which guys get hurt and concussions. Do you coach it any differently now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously on kickoff and kickoff return, I'm not telling guys to use their head or anything like that. We're trying to keep it safe. But we teach a lot of fundamentals in what we do. And because we do that, it's to limit us having bad technique to end up in bad situations where we revolve our head, which we totally keep out.
Have you seen any of the preseason NFL games, how they're doing the kickoff now
Yeah,
without the running
5-5.
start? Does it look weird?
It's different, man. It's a change up. But that's tough to teach, and because now all you guys got to play very disciplined on kickoff, and it's interesting to see where that's going to go, if that's going to propel down to us or not. But it's very interesting to watch that.
Sure. There was a big Sports Illustrated story about Mitch Wisnocki and all the Australian punters and that kind of pipeline. Are you looking at that at some point down the road? Do you pay attention to?
Not really. I go class by class, and sometimes I start about 2 classes ahead. And where I'm at right now, I got a 2019 punter signed. I like him, so that's what I'm rolling with. And I'm not really, entertained about someone else right now. When I got him signed, I'm gonna focus on him, and I'm ready for him to get here on campus when he does.
When you have a commitment from a 2019 punter, are you also looking at a 2020 punter, or do you kind of skip a couple of years if you?
It depends on our needs. It depends on our needs, right? Going into 2020, maybe if our depth's low on punter, okay, maybe I do sign another one. If it's going to be low at kicker, our guys are getting older, then I sign a kicker. I kind of go based on year and what we're going to have left after that year and kind of propel it from there.
Is it different from other positions, though, in that really only one guy can play at a time?
Yeah, it's very different. You're not going to sign a kicker, long snapper, and punter every year on scholarship. You're probably going to have one guy to sign, so you're going to have to be very selective who you bring in, bringing quality walk-ons to help you compete for those other spots.
Sure. So we've heard that Coach Sumlin is kind of a player's coach,
Yes, sir.
an advocate of the players and so forth. How does he go about letting guys know that they're not doing something right or that they're not deserving of their spot? Like, how does he? How does he impose discipline?
We stay on 24/7. What's great about Coach Sumlin is he's going to let us assistant coaches do our jobs, and that means he sends the message and we relay the message by the discipline that we're using, okay, and our strength coaches are using, and it's all propelled through us. So we're in a sense, we're an extension of him. You know what I mean? So what he says, we enforce, okay? And he does a great job of it, and he's leaning on us for us to enforce the rules and make sure we're on top of our guys 24/7, because that's our job as position coaches and as a strength coaching staff, training staff, and so on.
Do you like where you guys are 2 weeks before the season?
I feel good, man. I feel good. I'm excited for this team. I think they continue to grow together. I see some more leadership around. Guys are a little more energetic. They're continuing to progress, and that's what we want to do as we go forward. So I'm excited. Obviously, we've got 2 weeks still to prepare, so we still got some time. So I'm not overly anxious yet. I still got to install some things and get our team right before we're ready to rock.
Have you guys done any game plan stuff yet, or does that start next week?
Just a little bit, here and there. But Coach Sumlin likes to focus on us. It's all about us first, and then we'll focus on the opponent when he wants us to.